I'm Rachel Bixby. I am the Sensory Alchemist, and I'd like to introduce you to my new channel. I've been in physical therapy practice for 30 years, and in that time I've watched a lot of changes in the industry and our understanding of how the body works and how health is maintained in the system, and I'd like to share some of those with you. First off, let's talk about alchemy. It is an ancient occult science, just like astrology, which occult means hidden or secret. So not everyone knows, and it's not apparently obvious. And in modern day, we still use the term occult in medical terminology, as in an occult fracture, which is a fracture that's been missed, and someone with a keen eye or a more sensitive instrument is able to pick up that fracture, or an occult tumor, which may have been missed in the same manner, or they're not sure where the source is. And so that is the true meaning of occult. And I feel as though chronic health issues have been the reason has been occulted as well in a similar manner. And not too long ago, it was the germ theory that medical care was dealing with, and now that we have pasteurization and antibiotics, it's more chronic issues that take people into the doctor. And we also know now that inflammation plays a key role in chronic health issues of all sorts. And inflammation is absolutely driven by stress response. So we're still using outside-in methods such as chemicals, pills, surgeries to treat something that is primarily a lifestyle issue in large part. Key factor in how lifestyle medicine works is the use of the autonomic nervous system, which is the balancing and correcting system that monitors for the state of your body and the environment inside and out, using sensory nerves, which are nerves that go more from the outside back toward the brain to decide what the best course for the output should be, or motor or efferent nerves. Homeostasis is what the body in regulation is called. It's a little misleading, as it's very dynamic, not static at all, but it is the body's constant balancing and correcting in a way that we don't even realize is happening when it's happening properly. And when it's out of sync, that's when you start to notice issues in your health, starting small and ramping up to disabling at times, and then it commands your respect. Similarly, in ancient alchemy, there is a balancing feature that is coveted, and among the elements, the primary elements of air, water, earth, and fire, you want to have them in a relative balance so that everything runs smoothly and there's not one element overtaking the others. Fire is correlated with a strong will and a lot of energy and motivation. Earth is physical, stable, and responsible. Water has to do with feelings, emotions, and nurturing. And air is wisdom and intellect, and lots of ideas, that kind of monkey mind that you hear about. And imbalances can lead to irritability and restlessness, dullness and depression, neediness and sadness, or fickle and deceitfulness, among others. You get the idea, and you probably have certain maybe people in mind that you can imagine, or yourself you can think of. Maybe if you fit one of these categories of maybe having a little too much fire, tend to be explosive, or maybe it's hard to get off to the couch, you have a lot of too much earth maybe, and it just kind of puts it in a very elemental perspective of what the issue is. We can think of the body structures and functions in similar ways. Imbalances of the elemental qualities of the body can create disease, and this is illuminated in Bessel van der Kolk's book, The Body Bears the Burden. It would be a great book to check out if you're having any of these issues or have an interest, and I will link that in the description box. And basically, when you are overwhelmed, your body sends in the troops. So that is fiery, very Martian. Mars, the god of war. So we think of battling disease, and that's our immune system. So that's great. You want that to happen, and you want a good and strong immunity. However, if you are overwhelmed frequently, it is an imbalance of fire, and there's too much immune response, and you can, particularly autoimmune diseases, can be a problem here, and that can lead to hypervigilance, and the phrase cytokine storm has become more of a everyday word, and just meaning that the little messengers that keep track of if there's invasions or if there's something to worry about in your body, something to fight, they become amplified. There's more of them, and so they're kind of in a frenzy, and your body just keeps reacting more and more response, white blood cells, inflammation, and so inflammation becomes ongoing and chronic and creates some chronic disease. And if that happens long term, over many, maybe decades, and maybe some of you are in that situation, and it's not uncommon, it starts to kind of backpedal, where your immunity becomes depressed. Your body goes into kind of conservation mode, kind of a freeze, and that takes a little more work to undo, but you can still work with these homeostatic processes to get yourself back into balance, but just realizing that your body is reacting as it would under the conditions, and understanding how self-care is so important to bring yourself back to that balance and create health. Approaching this fire, overabundance of fire with the air qualities of being very analytical and having a lot of different narrowing of specificity of what the problem might be, can be overwhelming. It can be scary and overwhelming, and that is like the proverbial fuel on the fire. So air and fire tends to conflagrate. So what to do. So in healthcare, some of the missing pieces oftentimes are the water, so the nurturing and the calm, the kind of slow and calming, and the earth, which is slow, solid, steady, feeling safe and secure, and a part of something that is nurturing. This is something that we naturally feel in our gut. We feel this sense of safety and belonging, or not. So that kind of tips the scale of which way our body will react, with kind of a fight or a cower or a running away, or really settling in and allowing what needs to happen. And what do you know? The autonomic nervous system is right there in our gut. That's our gut awareness, our gut wisdom. So there's a lot of new science that backs up these assertions that go way back. So there, so I'm bringing up alchemy, which is just one. So there's Ayurveda, there's traditional Chinese medicine. So alchemy is just the Western tradition. That from Europe, that would be similar to those mentioned that maybe we're more familiar with. And while we're using new technology, those fresh eyes and more delicate instruments to measure, to be able to explain this in a left brain and more analytical way. These are really very ancient things, ancient ideas and understandings that we're just allowing back into our awareness for balance. So balancing the right and left brains, the air, fire axis with the water, earth, and just coming back to ourselves, really. If you want to hear a little more about this, I have linked an interview that I did this past summer, and it was happened to land on the solstice, so I used that, some seasonal and astronomical metaphor to describe this process, maybe a little bit more, and I'll have that in the description box as well. As far as this time period that we're in is 2022, in the fall, November, and in a couple days, November 8th, we're going to have a lunar eclipse. So, and we're right in between the solar. There's a partial solar eclipse late October, and the lunar in November, as I mentioned, in a couple days. So we're kind of in that place of an occulting, as we've been talking about. So an eclipse covers, or also another word would be an occult. And in this case, the Earth is between the sun and the moon, and they're lined up such that it creates a shadow on the moon. So it creates that kind of orange-red color, and so they call that a blood moon. So that's a very dramatic description. And so you might want to check that out if it's clear that night where you live, and just check out what time that will occur. It's different by location. And, that can put you in touch with the rhythms of nature and life, and this kind of feeling of something being covered and then exposed again, and how that can be true personally as well. Thank you so much for the likes on the test video that I uploaded. It was just a short from a dance class that I've attended because it was handy, and I just wanted to practice uploading something onto YouTube. And it does show an activity that is very healthy for your mind, body, and spirit. And I'm wondering if you know that ballroom dancing makes you smarter. And this is something that has been researched extensively, and it makes you smarter longer, meaning it staves off dementia and Alzheimer's I think that would be a great future topic for a video, and I'll link a review on that as well if you're interested. If you enjoy this sort of topic, please like and subscribe to this channel. So in the videos to come, grab your tea, pull up a chair, and I'll let you in on a little secret.